Welcome to the School Leaders Podcast. My name is Dr. Gastred Harrigan, the podcast for current and emerging school leaders, those who support and supervise them. You will hear from passionate educational leaders who are transforming their schools, communities, and creating positive outcomes for students. I will also share my personal reflections and tips from over 15 years as a school leader. Together, we will talk about how to level up our schools and leadership practices. Hello, welcome to the School Leaders Podcast. This is your host, Dr. Gastred Harrigan. Thank you for making the School Leaders Podcast part of your growth journey. There were two woodcutters named Peter and John. They were often arguing over who chopped down more woods. So one day, they decided to hold a competition to determine the winner. The rules were simple. Whoever produced the most woods in a day wins. So the next morning, both of them took up their position in the forest and started chopping away at the fastest possible speed. This lasted for about an hour before Peter suddenly stopped. When John realized there was no chopping sound coming from his opponent's side, he thought, aha, he must be tired already. And he continued to cut his trees with double the pace. A quarter of an hour passed by, and John heard his opponent chopping again. So both of them carried out simultaneously. John was starting to feel worried when, during the chopping from Peter, stopped once again. Feeling motivated and smelling victory, John continued on with a smile on his face. This went on a whole day. Every hour, Peter would stop chopping for 15 minutes, while John kept going relentlessly. So when the competition ended, John was absolutely confident that he would be victorious and he would win. But to John's astonishment, Peter had actually cut down more wood. How did this even happen? How could you have chopped down more trees than me? I heard you stop working every hour for 15 minutes, John said. Peter replied, well, it's really simple. Every time I stopped work while you were still chopping down trees, I was sharpening my axe. As leaders, we must take time on our calendar to sharpen our axe. Everybody everywhere seems to be very busy. People are just too busy doing things and trying to achieve their goals. But they do not take the necessary time to renew themselves, to learn and grow, ultimately to sharpen the axe. In today's episode, I am going to share 10 strategies for growth that could unlock your leadership potential and make this year a spectacular year. But before we get too far with today's episode, I want to encourage you to join the School Leaders Podcast community on Facebook. There, we continue and extend our conversation from the episode. Also, don't forget to check out my website at www.drgharrigan.com. There you can listen to the podcast, read the monthly blog, and sign up for our monthly newsletter. I would like to thank all of you who are sharing the podcast on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on LinkedIn, or wherever you listen to the podcast. Thank you. When you share the podcast, please tag me so I can personally thank you. Take a moment right now to subscribe to the podcast and share this episode. Don't forget to also leave a 5-star rating and a positive comment. When you do, it helps other listeners to find the podcast. Let's get started. John Maxwell, the #1 leadership guru, once said, if you focus on goals, you may hit goals, but that does not guarantee growth. If you focus on growth, you will grow and always hit goals. Let me repeat that. If you focus on goals, you may hit goals, but that does not guarantee growth. If you focus on growth, you will grow and always hit goals. So it is important that we focus on our growth as leaders. If you want your organization or your school to improve, you must grow as a leader. If you want your department to improve, you must grow as a leader. If you want to increase your influence, you must grow as a leader. John Maxwell, in his book, The 15 Laws of Growth, stated that the first law of growth is the law of intentionality. Growth does not happen by chance, you must make it happen. To grow as a leader, you must make it happen. To grow as a leader, you must constantly sharpen your axe. Here are 10 strategies for growth as a leader. Number one, mindset. Your mindset is vital for your growth. To grow as a leader, you must understand that growth happens by what you do today, not tomorrow. You must strive to get a little better each day at your craft. Each and every single day, you must work at becoming better at your craft. Dave Ramsey stated that organizations are not limited by opportunities. Rather, they are limited by their leaders. As the leader of your organization, your mindset about your continual growth in your role, in your profession, has a huge impact on whether your organization will grow. The growth of the organization depends on whether the leader is growing and developing. When a leader grows, everyone wins. It starts with your mindset. Number two, read leadership books. There are many leadership books to choose from. But if you're not sure, you can start with books from John Maxwell. You could read books from Patrick Lencioni. You can also read books from Principal Kafali. Any of their books will be a safe choice to start with. The key is to read. Leaders are readers. Leaders are learners. What are you reading? What are you listening to? These two things can have an incredible impact on your growth as a leader. It is important that you make sure that the content you're consuming is the right content. John Maxwell also said the difference between who you are today and who you will be in 5 years will be the people you spend your time with and the books you read. Let me say that again. The difference between who you are today and who you will be in 5 years will be the people you spend your time with and the books you read. There are a lot of information out there, so make sure that you are reading and listening to things that would actually help you grow, help you develop the skills that you need to take your leadership to the next level. 10 strategies to grow as a leader. Number three, seek mentorship and coaching. The best mentors in my life have been people I admire and people I have invited to speak into my life. This includes past bosses, supervisors, and leaders up in my organization and those I admire. I look for character first, then competency in an area in which I am trying to grow in. No leader is an island, and effective school leaders give a high priority to making connection and engaging with others. The same goes for you. You cannot do this work alone. It's important that you seek mentorship from experienced leaders and coaches who can provide feedback, guidance, support, and valuable insight for you to grow. Learn from their experience, leverage their expertise to accelerate your growth as a leader. Number four, hang out with fellow leaders. It goes without saying, it is important to create a network of people or colleagues you can call on to ask questions and for emotional support. Personally, I have 2 or 3 different groups of leaders that I meet and connect with on a periodic basis. Often, these are folks that are peers, colleagues, we are fellow leaders, we are in similar space in our career, and I often connect with them to grow, to glean from them. If I have questions, concern, they can help answer these things for me. There are times when you cannot go to your director, to your superintendent, to your supervisor. You've got to have somebody to call on. These group of colleagues, for me, provide friendship, support, and serve as a source of experts to help me grow. 10 strategies to grow as a leader. Number 5, join a professional learning network. Leading a school can be an exhausting job. The principalship, to be honest with you, is isolating. It is essential as a school leader that you continue to learn impactful strategies that will help you build and fuel your own learning, your leadership, and ways to improve your school culture and find ways to strengthen your relationship within and outside of your organization. Joining a professional learning organization or network allow you to learn, connect, and sharpen your skill with other leaders across your field. Learning from and with other leaders allow you to see and hear different perspectives, listen to new ideas, share your thoughts, and ultimately that will propel you to grow. Number six, seek feedback regularly. You can ask feedback from those you lead. While this is a humbling experience, I promise you the people you're trying to lead can offer suggestions in areas that you can grow. They are simply waiting for your permission to share insight and ways you can grow and provide you with invaluable feedback for you to grow. Also, a 360 survey can also be useful to get anonymous feedback on areas you can improve in. It is invaluable that you get regular and ongoing feedback for growth. Ken Blinkert once said that feedback is the breakfast of champions. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. Just as breakfast fuel the body for success, feedback fuel leaders and teams for improvement and, and toward excellence. Number seven, analyze your current condition. Only a few leaders will stop to see where they are currently, to analyze their current condition. What are you working on? What's not working? What needs tweaking? What needs killing or even eliminating? The best leaders don't have all the answers, but they ask great questions. You will not have all the answers as a leader, but you have to develop the ability, the skill to ask good questions. You need to develop the skills, the abilities to really analyze your current settings, ask good questions, and take those insights and feedback to grow as a leader. 10 strategy to grow for growth as a leader. Number 8, reflect and adapt. As a leader, reflecting on your past mistakes will help you grow. The best teacher is experience. Most likely, you've had situations in the past that have prepared you for where you are today. Or maybe you have watched other leaders, supervisors make mistakes and you have learned from them. It's important to take time to reflect and to learn. John Dewey said that we do not learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience. Again, we do not learn from experience. We actually learn from reflecting on experience. Leaders must recognize that the more reflective they are, the more impactful they become. Self reflection must become a regular practice for you as a leader. The amount and frequency of reflection may vary, but making it a consistent part of your work is essential for your growth. Engage in regular self reflection to assess your leadership style, your strength, or your areas for development. Be open to feedback and be willing to adapt your approach based on new insight and changing conditions. Number 9, write your goals down. It is important that you set clear goals. It amazes me how many leaders I speak to who do not have written goals that they are working to achieve on a daily basis. Writing down your goals, put it in your mental schema. You are more likely to have those goals in the front of your mind. When that happens, you will be a walking sponge for new ideas to accomplish them. Dr. Gail Matthew, a psychology professor at Dominica University, found that people who write down goals are 42% more likely to do them. She also found that if you write down your goals and tell a friend that you're attempting to reach that goal, the likelihood of you reaching those goals increase to 78%. So, as you reflect on your goals for this year, it is important that you clearly define them. It's important that you know exactly what you are going after, exactly what you are pursuing. Jordan Peterson, in the book 12 Rules for Life, he said that what you aim at determine what you see. What you aim at determines what you see. Clearly define your aim. Clearly define your goals to focus on what you see, which is your growth. Number 10, subscribe to leadership podcasts and blogs. People are talking about leadership these days. Participate, listen, contribute to the discussion. You will learn and grow along the way. Growing as a leader is not difficult, but it does require an intentional effort on your part. Subscribe to this leadership podcast where we discuss leadership ideas and offer practical ways to improve your school or department culture and increase student achievement. Plus, you can also check out my website at www.drgharrigan.com for more leadership tips and ideas. As I end this episode, ponder on this. My friend and mentor, Dr. William Valmy, in his book, The Vanguard Leader, proclaimed that you must become intentional and proactive when it comes to your personal growth. You must become intentional and proactive when it comes to your personal growth. To unlock your leadership potential, you must be intentional. You must be proactive and focus on your personal growth. There you have it. I hope you are able to take away at least one nugget that will help you grow in your leadership this year. If you know anyone who can benefit from this episode, please share it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for joining me today. Please consider subscribing to the podcast, leave a 5-star rating and a comment, share this episode with a friend, and on social media. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for leadership ideas and tips. Again, thank you for joining me today. Until next time.